You're listening to the This is Friendship podcast, and we are your hosts, Joy, Carly, and Andy. We'd like to welcome you back to the show. Today's episode is hopefully going to encourage, inspire, and light a fire in you to chase the big goals you have been dreaming about. If you are struggling to get motivated to start that business, pursue the goal that keeps tugging at your heart, start that workout program, to pursue fitness goals that make you healthier, or really whatever those big goals and dreams are, this episode is made just for you. I'm here today with two of the most ambitious, creative, and hardworking ladies I know. And today we are going to explore the topic of ambition, that strong desire to achieve something, typically requiring hard work and determination. And let's be honest, a lot can get in the way of those goals. Over the next two episodes, we will explore the juxtaposition of striving versus perfection. So let's get started. This is ambition. Our first question that we're going to explore, and Joy, I'm going to start with you. Please share one big goal you have just completed or are working toward right now.
One big goal I'm working towards right now is a fun blog. So I am working, this is terrible. This has been a long thought process of what I wanted to blog about specifically, because I feel like I could go off a million different ways. There's so many different exciting things. How do you pick just one? But that is one thing that I've been working on for a little while, is gathering content and organizing my thoughts. But I really want to be a source for moms, for busy moms that want to raise a reader. The more I get into my books and the more I get into seeing Beckham's vocabulary just skyrocket, and then him talking about something in a conversation with one of his friends, and then him referring to one of his books, my heart just explodes with his mental capacity that he's learning. It's not just story time. It's not just snuggles and cuddles that I personally am soaking up for my own personal reasons, but he is growing so much, so fast, connecting more and more dots that I just can't wait to share with other mamas. And I know how busy life gets. I know how hard sometimes it is to carve out time to sit down and read. So I want to build a little capsule of easy tools and resources that us can use and build on to help raise their own reader, and then offer some other fun bonus services and activities just for fun in the meantime. So that is one of my ambitious, big, slow puzzle piecing goals that I'm working on.
What a great integration of everything.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that roll out.
I know we have listeners that are going to love that.
Carly, how about you?
Ooh. So a big goal that I am currently working on is just focusing on growing my business. I layered in the health and wellness coaching piece late last summer, early fall. And I just really am trying to focus. That's my number one goal, is to build my clientele in that arena for 2021. So that's my real big ambitious.
Thank you for sharing. I had a big goal of starting a podcast with some great friends.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say that, but here we are.
I had it written down in my notes, and I was like, I'm pretty sure one of them is going to say it, but if they don't, then I'm going to mention it. This journey has been really fun with you girls, and I love just the synergy and the touch point on a weekly basis and all the inspiration. So thank you for sharing in that goal. I think sometimes goals don't always have to be individual. They can be better together with people as well. And then just a personal goal, I'll be sitting for the broker's exam, or sitting to become a broker. So it's my next step as it relates to real estate, my real estate career, and an extension of knowledge and how I can better serve my clients. Also is going to set me up for success more on that national level and in more of the niche that I really appreciate and value, and that is luxury and secondary homes. The real estate market is changing significantly. And this had been something that I was wanting to pursue even from the time that I started in real estate. And so now it's the next natural step. I'm just super excited to get to work with more clients and see beautiful destinations and just to continue to grow my business. That is a big one that I'm pursuing right now.
Yes.
Heading up to our second question, Carly, let's start with you. What sets you up to be successful when completing your goals? Or what are some of the things that create success when you're pursuing your goals?
I think I'm pretty tenacious. So that's one thing. I, like Joy, have a lot of interest in a lot of things that I want to do and love to do and I'm passionate about. But one of the things that sets me up for success is just being able to stick with it and be tenacious and be consistent and keep working towards it, even if it's just little tiny baby steps. That's, I'm going to say, my number one. Other things that set me up for success are I'm pretty realistic. I feel, not that I don't push myself and do things that make me uncomfortable, but I know, I guess I know what to make a goal and what to just leave in the dream category for a little bit.
Very
That's,
important.
yeah, those are probably the two things together that add up to the most success. Not to say that it's always successful, but
I think sometimes it can be hard to know what direction to go in. And both of you inspire me so much because sometimes it isn't about choosing something, it's more maybe a matter of time. And then being able to compartmentalize and say, this is what I have the capacity for now. This is truly what I'm going to pursue because this is what's going on in my life. So I love the baby steps and just the tenacity or like fearlessly just going after it and accomplishing that. So thank you
thanks.
for sharing.
I do have to say, though, it's definitely not fearlessly because I think everybody has fears. No one is fearless, truly. You can be courageous and brave, and that's stepping through the fear. And I will talk about those are some of the things I have on my list for what stops me.
Sure.
Fear is definitely one of those things. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, I have a feeling. But fearless is not, it's definitely not in a fearless fashion for sure.
I have to revert back a few years now when you were an ambitious frame buyer. And I got to watch you bring in all these fun new vendors and take all these scary, what seemed like fearless baby steps, as you call it, to with this tenacity that just brought fresh new life. It brought excitement and color and all kinds of fun new things to the floor, to the sales floor when we were buying. I just can totally see all of those things in you. And I'm so proud of you for all those fun things
Thank you.
and getting to watch you. So I'm really excited to see you do the same thing, but totally on your own with your new business as you're building and growing, and watching your social is just amazing. I find myself doing my little 8-minute workouts that you
Hey,
post. And yeah, just to get in that little 8 minutes is awesome. So not only are those baby steps, but they are making changes, are making a difference, and having things easily accessible. So
thank you.
thank
That's
you.
nice. I appreciate your
Yeah,
feedback and support. See why I
yeah.
love these guys?
Ah!
See why we're friends?
Joy, how about you?
This is going to be no surprise to my husband, knows this better than anyone probably. I'm a planner. So I like control, or I like to think I'm in control. As much as I can, I try and list things out, organize, categorize. I have a real sense of completion when I have something organized or when a project is ready to go and things like that. So I think that's why it's taken me a little bit longer to get my personal fun blog up and going, because I want to make sure I have all my compartments. I've got everything thought through. I don't want to waste anybody's time because I know everybody's busy mamas. So for me, it's organization, it's planning. I'm a list person. And I'm very visual. So I have to put my goals down somewhere where I can see them. I have to be able to recite them and put on that right mindset too. So I would say organization, planning, and mindset.
I love the visual part of that too. That's
Yeah.
I made a killer for the at the very end of the year to transition me into 2021. I made a killer vision board,
Mm.
and that just helps me see it all. I do love that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, so to add on to that, I like to make a vision board, or I like to do a word of the year and a scripture of the year. I'm still working on my scripture of the year because I'm a little indecisive. But my word of the year is grow. So I think we're hitting home and right on track with growing, not only a human being, but a podcast and working on my blog and mama. And I think we're going to grow out of this pandemic, hopefully, or at least, if not all the way there, we're going to grow and take big steps out of what we're in now on lots of different levels.
Thank you for sharing all of that, Joy. I think I have a little bit of both of you. So I have small doses, which is probably in relation to baby steps. And then I have a plan exclamation point written. And what helps me is to reverse engineer and say, okay, this is the date that I'd like to have this accomplished, or this is the date that I have to have this accomplished. And then have a timeline that works backwards that will essentially keep me on track. I think that I lead with perfectionism and probably a little bit of procrastination sometimes. And so those small doses or the daily things that I can do just keep me on track to the completion, those goals. And then I think for me, I like to sprinkle in a little bit of fun along the way. What is a reward for buckling down and having the discipline to actually do something that maybe I don't want to do, I feel like I have to do? So if I can put something fun or positive on the other side or at the time that I complete it. So those kind of pieces set me up for success. I think too that having wonderful friends that check in on you in relation to goals and or encourage you along the way, sometimes that creates that positivity, which leads into the mindset joy of being able to have that continuation, or just to have the tenacity, right, to finish the goal, putting it all
Accountability.
together. Yes,
Accountability
yes,
partners.
yes.
I that is a really good one. And the reward system, I love that. I think
Yes.
I'm gonna start doing that more.
We should have fun, right? Work
Mhm.
hard, play hard. It's about a balance and it's about pursuing those goals, but then also having some fun along the way too.
I feel that the whole time I've known you, Andy, you've always had big goals and you've always moved towards them. I'm sure that there are goals that you feel like have fallen by the wayside or you haven't accomplished, but they're not on my radar. I feel like the stuff that you have said and that you are pursuing and that you share, when you get to the point where you share your goals, you always make them
They're
happen.
already on the way.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I had one other goal down, which I've accomplished, which was at one point in time, I wanted to learn how to play guitar. And you girls know how that story ended up. I just always want to say, you never know where your goals are going to lead. So for me, I found the love of my life. Maybe it's just as simple as joy with your blog. Maybe you start connecting and you're impacting lives, which open up other doors or create additional ideas or help you get more in that flow. And so I think sometimes it's just the first steps. And we can discuss a little bit about fear, the other components that get in the way down the road here, but you never know where those goals are going to lead. So sometimes it's hard to be open to them.
Yeah, I like that perspective, Andy. I feel that you think of a goal usually as a end point. It's the destination. When if you can reframe that and think of it as a stepping stone along the way, even though it is a really big goal and you want to get there and it's going to take some time, it really is just a stepping stone in the big picture of your life. It's not an end point. I love that, Andy.
I like stepping stone.
I think it was Michael Jordan that said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I feel like that's just the same thing.
Yeah.
Very wise words. As we have stated, sometimes things get in the way of us pursuing those goals. So the question is, what takes you away from your goals? And Joy, let's start with you.
Life. Life happens. I think that at any given moment, because we don't have complete control over everything in this world, and I really don't want to have control over everything in this world, but that's the biggest thing is life happens, whether it's unplanned things you don't plan for. Sometimes head into a day and I think, okay, I'm going to get this and this and this done, and it's going to be this and this way, and I can throw the whole day, the whole plan out the window because life. So life is the biggest thing I think that gets in the way for me.
Hard to find the balance sometimes.
Mm.
Absolutely. Carly, how about you?
Oh, there's a lot of things. Life sums up a lot of it, but I will be more specific. Fear, we talked a little bit about fear earlier. Fear, I
Mhm.
think, is a good umbrella for a lot of things. I think procrastination falls under fear. I think perfectionism falls under fear. I feel that underestimating the time it takes to do things a little bit falls under fear.
Mhm.
I think fear is a pretty good umbrella because there are times when you're like, I want to work on my pretty website because that's fun to do. And really, no one's going to your website yet. So probably that shouldn't be number one on the list. You should just get out there and go. What do you really need to have? And that's that huge obstacle for me when I got started with this whole process of my own gig. And something I learned is that I wanted to have everything look so perfect and everything lined up. And none of that matters until you really do the number one most important thing. And what is that number one most important thing? So I feel like it was very easy for me to get distracted by the shiny object. I have AD as an adult. I haven't been diagnosed, but pretty sure I do. And so I do get distracted easily. So having just one thing to do and one thing to accomplish and what's the most important number one thing isn't always easy for me to stay focused on. But so those are the obstacles because I think I would have fear about, oh God, is anyone even going to want to hire me? Is anyone ever going to want to even talk to me about health and wellness? And what do I know? And who am I to do that? And look at all these people on Instagram and how fabulous they are. Guess what? They're not any more fabulous than you are. You are just as fabulous. People just don't know it yet. So the thing is, you got to figure out how to share with with everyone how fabulous you are. That's what I'm trying to work on. Hence my goal for the year of building my business.
I love that, Carly. I love
Thanks.
that.
Yeah, those are obstacles for sure. And I think everyone can relate to those things for sure.
I appreciate how just authentic you are in sharing that because I think sometimes people are a little even hesitant to express the things that they say, their mindset, and you have to keep that positive mindset. And I just value how authentic that was because I think it'll be really relatable. It's very relatable for me. For sure. So, yeah, I think fear definitely is absolutely a part of perfectionism and procrastination. And it takes someone that is incredible to be able to step back and really understand what's going on and why those things are happening. And thank you. Because, there's definitely people that are out there that are wanting to start a blog, Joy, or are wanting to develop a business and create that website. And they're going through the exact same things or having the exact same thoughts. So thank you for sharing that.
Sure. I mean, any little dip outside of your comfort zone is scary. But unfortunately, the growth that you're seeking doesn't happen inside that comfort zone. It's going to happen outside of it.
Yep.
And it is scary for every single person. If someone tells you they're not fearful ever, they're lying to you.
For sure. For sure.
But it does take self-awareness to recognize what it is and then talk to yourself. Oh, I see what's going on here, Carly. I see it. You're not fooling me, and figure out how to get around it. So I'm not always successful for sure. Those are the things definitely get in my way on a daily basis.
Yes. Einstein went through so many trials and failures and so many countless failures, but you only hear about the amazing things that he did. But when you read about him, he is He had so much failure. He had way more failure than successes in his life. And that to me is, whoa, okay. I'm actually on the same failure path. I fail a lot more than I am successful. But that's okay. That's okay. And you just dust yourself off and get back up and go at it again.
Yep.
Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.
That's
We got
good.
it. Exactly what you just articulated, Joy. For me, so again, pulling all this together, I had a busy life. I had finding balance. So, what takes you away from your goals, finding that balance. I had digging deep to find what is truly important. So, I think, Carly, you articulated that. And then, one thing that I do every day is in the morning, I vision, but then I also write down the things that I want to accomplish. And I'm definitely a lists person. And so some days that list can be 10 to 20 to however many. But I've made a commitment to myself that I want to identify 3 musts from that list. So at the end of the day, I will feel like I've accomplished what I need to accomplish if I'm able to accomplish those 3 musts. And that allows me to then just let it go at the end of the night. And those musts can be different things. A must may be connecting with Jake. A must may be calling a friend. A must, of course, is probably going to be in relation to work or career. If I'm feeling a little bit imbalanced as it relates to working out, a must is no, today I'm going to make a commitment. I will feel better if I ride for 45 minutes, or if I walk, or if I'm able to do weights or whatever it is, if I'm able to do Pilates. It's been a couple days, I need to work out today. I think maybe that ties into balance. And then I think sometimes I'm my own worst enemy and critic. So back to getting into that mindset and getting into your head. And I guess what makes successful is having that positive influence outside of me, and or just the positive things that I look to on a daily basis to keep focused. But having amazing friends like both of you, being able to lean on Jake, just having people in my life that I'm grateful for that are able to pull me outside of myself and maybe get out of those negative thought processes. I also have fear, of course, but I think behind that is vulnerability for me, and hiding ourselves, not fully showing ourselves to people, not being able to share what you're supposed to share with other people. And I think it's taken me a really long time and I'm still not there by any means, but it's taken me a really long time to wrap my brain around, wouldn't you rather share what you're supposed to share with people versus holding that in or hiding or what have you. So I think vulnerability as it relates to goals or just accomplishments is a big thing for me. And there are some that I'm much more vulnerable with than others. So I would say that's what takes me away from my goals.
I feel that the last year has really hit home with authenticity and vulnerability and sharing your true self and true story. It's more important than ever, for people to see the real you, the real side of things. I think that the pandemic has just really driven that home to everyone. We didn't really touch on imposter syndrome, but that's part of fear when you look at, oh, they're just so fabulous and they're doing all these things and they live this wonderful life. Those aren't the accounts I continue to follow because I want to see some reality there and not just a life that's put on display for social media. To me, that's not genuine and authentic. And those aren't the accounts for me.
I think what we're hoping and trying to do with our podcast, which is we want to be authentic. Transitioning to our last question, and Carly, let's start with you. Is there a goal you have been dreaming about, but maybe hesitating to pursue?
Yes. I don't know that I'm hesitating to pursue it. I just know it's one of those, it's staying in the dream category. It's going to live there for a little bit before I start to pursue it. It's definitely in my dream category to, don't tell my husband, remodel another house. We'll see. It's like I said, it's living in the dream category for now. But it's on my vision board it's something I want to do.
I feel like you are made to remodel houses. I see what you have done with your existing and that whole story and Airbnb and the backyard and your vision and lifestyle and everything that you pour into it just from a creativity and just your eye. So I just feel like you're made to remodel.
I didn't ever honestly think that I would be able to ever do it. So moving to Arizona and finding what we found and being able to do what we wanted to do. And we're still in phases in where we're at right now. We're still working on things. Landscaping is next, but we have a couple more phases planned for the future years. But it was cool to be able to pull it all together and to visualize it all, and then to see it in reality is fun.
That's amazing. And I haven't seen it in person yet, but through videos and photos, gosh, it's just amazing what you've done. I love seeing what you could do and your vision come through working with you and seeing it on the sales floor and then seeing it in a whole nother avenue in real estate and an actual home and living environment that anybody can just go and stay and check out with you and cheers a glass of wine or
Yeah. Swim for a little bit.
swim for a little bit. Yeah, that sounds amazing. It's been so fun seeing that journey too.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll have to at some point when we get our website a little more robust, I'll have to share some before and after pictures.
Awesome. That would be so
Please,
cool.
please do. Please do. Joy, how about you? Is there a goal you have been dreaming about, but maybe slightly hesitating to pursue?
Yes. I love the idea of seeing something that I like and then being able to click on it and purchase it. I love the idea of like to know it. And I love how, Andy, you have taken off your like to know it of all of your honeymoon purchases, all of your glamorous wedding photos, and all of the steps and gifts up in between. I love the whole idea of that. I am a little nervous to put myself out there. I love to have this idea of a luxurious life, but at the same time, on the other side, I'm a little bit of a saver, a penny pincher, a coupon cutter, a crazy coupon lady. I just don't know how much energy and time I can put into that right now. So right now, that's staying in my dream category, up to the side there. Yeah.
I'm excited to see where that evolves.
Yeah.
I would say I've got some things in the dream category. And I do have a blog, which is a lifestyle blog. And it encompasses everything: fashion, fitness, home, travel. So I've just been ideating and thinking on how all of that shifts and how all of that changes. With the pandemic, it's created a lot of change. And I think that when you look at recessions, I think sometimes some of the most intelligent or smart or innovative companies come out of harder times. And I think that we're definitely in that right now. Carly, I think of you from a fitness industry perspective. The face of that has completely changed. And I think it's a good time to step back and to reevaluate and to truly understand what people need in specific industries, or what do people need. So I'm definitely in the dreaming stage as well. Maybe we can, in a year, we can come back to this topic and we can express all of the things that we've accomplished and then talk about those goals. Thank you for joining us for this episode on ambition. We hope you're leaving today with a full and happy heart and motivation to go out there and chase your big dreams and goals. We'd love to hear about all of your goals. Please email us a message at hello@thisisfriendshippodcast.com. That's hello@thisisfriendshippodcast.com. And don't forget to mention how we can help you achieve your goals. We look forward to our next episode with you.
Bye, y'all.